Good afternoon, everybody. Pigskin Pete here. Happy Wednesday to everybody. Hope everybody's getting prepared for the hurricane. I know I am. I got a message. I got a message to all the Big Ten homers out there. Big talk from a little conference. The SEC's terrible. The ACC's terrible. The Big Ten runs stuff. Everybody knows the Big Ten East is the toughest conference in all of football. Well, what happened? What happened to big bad Michigan State? Went down there and got curb stomped by an NFL coach who's been retired for 10 years. And Arizona State. Penn State goes to overtime with a high school team at home. Michigan does what Michigan does, loses to Notre Dame, who Notre Dame the next week goes out there and struggle wins against Ball State. Meanwhile, I got all you jokers coming on my channel. Oh, Clemson's not all they're cracked up to be, are they? Clemson's overrated. The ACC's terrible. They had a struggle win against Texas A&M. Yeah, we had a struggle win against Texas A&M. Did you ever stop to think that maybe Texas A&M is a pretty good team? All you people were on here telling me the same week before that we were going to lose to them. Now all of a sudden we beat them and it's a struggle win. Georgia fans, now I don't talk a lot of crap about Georgia fans because we don't really have any real rivalry with you. I mean, in recent history, if you want to go back to the 60s, 70s, and 80s, good for you. Good luck with that. Who cares about the 60s, 70s, and 80s unless you're somebody named Michigan? Well, even before that for Michigan, right? Georgia fans, listen, you got a great team. I think that Georgia's going to be around for a while. You found your coach. You're recruiting at a high level. But don't sit here and tell me that beating South Carolina is some kind of great win. South Carolina is terrible. They've been terrible. Everybody knew they were terrible. I knew they were terrible before you played them, but somehow they were ranked. Let's look at the rankings. The AP poll. I want to talk about how overrated and meaningless the AP poll is. Anybody who watches my live stream already knows how I feel about this. It's completely ridiculous. The AP poll means nothing. It means nothing before the season. It means nothing now. It means nothing in week 7. The only thing that matters is the College Football Playoff Committee poll. I'll say that again for you people who are hard of hearing and dense in the head. The only thing that matters is the College Football Playoff Committee poll. People saying, Pete, are you upset? Are you upset that Georgia's gaining ground on Clemson? Georgia's still number 3 in the country. Who cares? Doesn't matter. I don't care if Clemson's ranked number 26 right now. The only thing I care about is where Clemson's ranked at the end of the year in the top 4, if that happens. Should happen. That's all I care about, though. That's all you should care about, too. Unless you're somebody named South Carolina, Michigan, Penn State. Right? LSU. LSU. Man, you guys are a trip. So, last week, South Carolina goes out there and beats up on, who'd they play? Nobody State? I don't even remember who it was because it doesn't even matter. And they get into the top 25, ranked 24. So now, if you're a Georgia fan, we beat a ranked team on the road. Yeah, you beat a ranked team on the road, all right. South Carolina, like I said before, like all you jokers were telling me I didn't know anything about football, is going to end up being a 7-win team, 8-win team at best. They're not winning the East. They'll probably lose to Kentucky. They'll probably lose to Texas A&M. Hell, they may lose to Florida, Tennessee. They're going to lose to at least 3 more people. Clemson's definitely one of them. Okay? So don't sit here and beat your chest about how you beat South Carolina. South Carolina sucks. They're terrible. They're awful. They've always been awful. We all know that. Texas A&M is actually pretty good, and we'll find that out. I'm going to say something right now that might surprise people. I spend a lot of time defending the ACC. Do I go out of my way to say the ACC is the best conference in the country year after year? No, I don't do. I'm not crazy. Listen, I'm a homer. I'm not crazy though. But I defend my conference because people that say the ACC is a weak schedule haven't been watching football. It's that simple. If you're a Big Ten fan and you say the ACC has a weak conference, you're delusional and crazy and borderline stupid, or all 3. Penn State, not all they're cracked up to be. Michigan, terrible. Michigan State, even more terrible. it's Wisconsin and Ohio State and everybody else, right? In the ACC, it's Clemson and everybody else. I mean, up until this year, it's been Clemson and Florida State and everybody else. But in the SEC, it's pretty much Alabama and Georgia and everybody else. Now, Auburn might make a run there. If you're an LSU fan, don't even put yourself in that conversation. Shut up. Go away. Your coach is terrible. Everybody knows it. You're going to be firing him at the end of the year. We all know it. Write it down. Tattoo it on your forehead if you have to. The Pac-12 actually looks pretty good. Oregon's better than we thought they were going to be, right? USC is not very good. But listen, Washington's good. Utah might be pretty good too. That's a big game next weekend. Or this weekend even. I don't even know what day it is. Listen, my point is that you people get all freaked out and hyped up over 2 games. Oh, you see who we beat? You see who they beat? You see who they lost to? They're ranked. They're not ranked. Means nothing. Let's reconvene at the end of the year. That's what matters. That's all that matters. I do think the SEC West this year is the toughest conference of football. Before the season, I said the Big Ten East was. Well, I've changed my mind just after 2 games on that, based on what I've seen. Now, I don't think LSU is a powerhouse. I think that they're a flash in the pan. I think they got lucky against a pretty mediocre Miami team, to be honest with you. But they're gonna catch 3 or 4 L's, more than likely. Starting this weekend with Auburn, I think Auburn's pretty good. Georgia and Alabama are good. Rest of the conference, average. Listen, Clemson, Boston College, I don't know who else in there. Virginia Tech, pretty good. Rest of the conference, average. Right? Big Ten, Ohio State, rest of the conference, average. Let's see here. Pac-12, Washington, pretty good. Rest of the conference, meh, we'll see. Probably average. Big 12, Oklahoma, maybe TCU. We'll see how they play against Ohio State. Rest of the conference, average. Maybe West Virginia might be pretty good, even though they have a defense that anybody could run through. I could run through it with my 2 kids. So, the point of this video is not to trash talk other conferences. I'm realistic, people. I'm realistic. I'm going to tell you, the ACC is not great this year, top to bottom. But we've got some really good teams. The Big Ten, way overrated, but they've still got some pretty good teams. SEC, probably the best conference in football this year so far, and we'll see what happens. They've got 3 great teams, at least. Auburn, Georgia, and Alabama. We'll see about the rest of them. Big 12, a couple of really good teams, maybe 2 or 3. You get my point. I'm repeating myself. Anyway, you guys, your mouth is bigger than your win total. That's my point. Have a great day. Pigskin Pete checking out.